Hello and welcome to a special cross-border episode of The Big Fight. Now, there's been so much sound and noise about India-Pakistan relations, and in particular the declaration that was just signed, or the joint statement that came out after the Indian and the Pakistani prime ministers met. Now, what does that statement mean? Has India sold out to Pakistan in some way, as some of the critics, at least especially from the BJP, have been alleging? And also, where do we go from here? Should India and Pakistan talk? Will Pakistan do more to counter terrorism? Those are some of the issues we're going to try and answer on both sides of the border. We've got guests with us here in Delhi and also joining us from various places in Pakistan. And we're also going to try and settle some of the political voices as well. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome onto the show Shashi Tharoor, who is, of course, Minister of State, External Affairs. Shashi Tharoor, great for you to have you joining us. We're also being joined by Prakash Javadekar, spokesperson of the BJP. Thank you so much for being with us. Here in the Delhi studio, Praful Goradia, General Secretary of the Jansangh, who has some rather strong views on Pakistan. Seema Mustafa, it's a pleasure to always, Seema, to have you with us. She's editor of Covert. It's great to have you with us. Praveen Swami, who knows what he thinks the Pakistani should be doing on terrorism. He also feels that they are not doing what he thinks they should be doing. And we will find out why they're not doing it. From the other side of the border, pleasure to welcome on the program once again Gauhar Ayub Khan, former Foreign Minister of Pakistan. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Fawzia Wahab, Information Secretary representing the PPP, one of the most articulate voices coming out of Pakistan just as yet. And Siddiq Al Farouk, spokesperson of the Pakistan Muslims League, Nawaz Sharif. Thank you all so much for joining us, and let's see if we can try and, if we can't get a composite dialogue process started, let's see if we can get some dialogue on this program, if nothing else. But before we come to any of this, I just want to turn to the issue of the joint statement and the BJP walkout saying it was a sellout. You heard that statement from the Prime Minister. He's saying that essentially India will not talk to Pakistan, will not start the composite dialogue until and unless the issue of terrorism is sorted out.
No, then there should be, in first place, no confusion about what has happened. You can't blame Pakistan about they are interpreting the joint statement in different way. Joint statement is very clear, and it has opened the window for a dialogue without Pakistan's action. We are saying that dialogue will start, but it will not fructify till you do something. That means you are giving up one thing, your earlier position, which was agreed and declared in the parliament.
Shashi Tharoor, do you interpret in some way whatever happened in Egypt? It was either, I mean, it's being interpreted as a sellout by one, but if nothing else, it was certainly a very confusing statement.
Well, I think they've got it completely wrong. The Prime Minister has spoken very clearly in Parliament, in both houses of Parliament, and explained that, in fact, all we're saying on the so-called delinking phrase that the BJP is so exercised about is that, as far as we are concerned, action on terrorism should not await a composite dialogue. It has to happen now. It should have happened yesterday. And that the composite dialogue is something which can follow once there has been credible action. You can't link the two and say both must happen in parallel. Point is that, you've got a diplomatic text cobbled together by two sides who don't often always agree about everything they're writing, and phrases have been put together which give each side something of what they wanted to see. That's exactly, I think there was a newspaper headline today saying that India gave Pakistan an inch in order to win a mile.
Tuba.com,